What is up, guys? It's Desiree here. Today I just want to make a video that's very different than a lot of the videos that I've been making recently, which have been reaction videos, and I'm trying to shy away from those just a little bit, but I was sitting around and thinking what I wanted to film, and I realized that I did want to make a video talking about Vidcon. Even though I'm not going to Vidcon this year, which actually makes me really sad, I thought I would want to make a video about the past VidCons that I've been to. I've been to 3 VidCons, and the first one I went to was in 2014, and going to that very first VidCon I learned a lot, and I'm pretty sure there's a video on this channel actually where I talked about tips, like VidCon tips, like things that I learned from being at VidCon. It was just like, you know, what to expect, I guess, kind of stuff, and just small like things you can learn from, I guess, if you're just going to VidCon for the first time. So maybe I'll go over that. Well, the first thing that I talked about in that video was I talked about not bringing so much with you when you're out and about, because VidCon does supply you with like a bag and stuff like that, and I remember just having extra purses and bags with me and topped off with all the other stuff I got from just being at VidCon, and it was just so annoying having to carry so many things around. I'd also say bring a sweater, which sounds really, really weird because it's the middle of summer and you're in Cali and you're thinking it's gonna be so hot. But actually in Anaheim, when it comes around toward evening, about 5 or 6, it gets pretty chilly. And I didn't bring a sweater. Last year, I know I didn't bring a sweater, and I was cold because I was wearing shorts and tank top, and I was actually pretty cold. So I'd say bring a sweater for the evenings. Anyway, enough with that stuff's kind of boring. I just want to talk about how much I actually really love VidCon. Like I said, I'm really sad that I'm not going this year because I always look forward to going to VidCon, but this year things are just a little bit crazy, and I can't go because I'm gonna have a job, so I can't take times off. That's probably the biggest reason why I can't go. And but I'd say I met so many amazing people at VidCon. Yes, I met a bunch of creators, YouTube creators that I love, but it's also an amazing time to hang out with like internet friends. Like I met my internet friend for so many years for the first time at VidCon. We were like, let's go to VidCon, and we both went and we hung out. That was not last year, the year before, so 2015. When I went in 2014, I actually went with my mom, and it was fun, and it was an experience for both of us because it was my first VidCon then. Obviously it was my mom's first, but you know, we didn't stay at the normal VidCon hotel. We stayed at a hotel that was near like the Honda Center, so we had to take a shuttle to and from our hotel to VidCon every day, and it was a little annoying because the shuttles stop at like 9, so I would have to leave VidCon before like everything was done, so that kind of sucked. But the hotel was actually super nice, and we had free hot breakfast. Can you hear that? I don't know if you can hear that. It's a street sweeper. Free hot breakfast, that's what I was talking about, right? Yeah, that time at VidCon in 2014, they did it so there wasn't a signing lottery, if you guys remember. I don't know if you guys remember that, but they started doing the signing lottery, I think in 2015. There was just so many people. Like what they would do it was just basically first come, first serve. So I remember I stayed in line to meet Drake or Sefa for maybe like 4 hours. I don't even know. That was when I realized I had too much stuff with me, and I think that's what inspired me to make my video that I just talked about. Maybe I'll link it. It's so embarrassing, actually. Side note, like, yikes. Anyway, I stood in line with my mom to meet Drake or Sefa, and I think a couple of girls who played like Hunger, who would be featured in like his Hungercraft videos, were like standing in line with me in front of me. But this was when I was super awkward and I wouldn't talk to people, so I just kind of was like, oh, I know that girl or whatever, but I like stayed silent. And I met Drake or Sefa, and I got his autograph and a quick picture. I don't know if I can find the picture. If I can find any pictures of what I'm talking about, maybe I'll insert them, but I took a picture with him. But the rules were so dumb. Basically, they said we could only take a picture if the person you were meeting was signing something. Like if they weren't signing anything, you couldn't take a photo like with them. So basically you had to take a selfie of you with them while they were signing something. So it was kind of dumb. After my turn happened, I got a picture with Joey while he was signing something, and while I was trying to take the picture, he actually like looked up and tried to take a photo of me, and then I got in trouble for it. Anyway, after I left, after my turn was over, the girl manning the line left. So then everyone else, like, she just left for like a minute or two. But everyone else that was like in line got to take good photos because she wasn't there telling them don't take a photo. That made me really mad. I just remember being upset. But the good thing about that was that Jack and Finn were like had the signing table right next to Joey's, and because it took so long for me to get to Joey, by the time I got there and ended, there was like 4 or 5 girls left in line to meet Jack and Finn. And I turned to like the security guy manning that line, and I was like, can I join this line to meet them? Like, it's almost the end, and I just finished there. And he was like, okay. So I got to meet Jack and Finn, and I wasn't really supposed to. That was probably the best thing ever because they haven't been to VidCon since then, and I have a bunch of photos of them. I don't think I took a photo with them. I might be able to find these pictures. If I do, again, here. I think that year was also when Nash Greer and Cameron Dallas were there. I think they were there last year, too. Wait, 2015. I don't know, I'm getting them all mixed up. But they were there, and this is a time when I kind of didn't really like them, but I still kind of joined in the group, so I have a couple photos of, I think I have a photo of Nash and a photo of the back of Cameron's head. Yeah, so everyone was like going crazy, and they were getting basically mobbed. This is when they had like, the security at the hotel was so, like the Hilton was so chill. There's just so many people in the hotel all the time, and it's kind of dangerous because everyone would be chasing people through the hotel, and it was just really crazy. I can't really remember anything else that happened that year, which is a little sad. I think it was mainly because my mom was there, and I tried to not be as crazy as I was internally, so I wasn't as crazy. So that's the thing. When I went in 2015, that was when I went with my internet friend, and we were just insane. We stayed at the Hilton that year, and we basically stalked the lobby all the time. And there was this one little hallway where people would walk by all the time, so a bunch of people would just stand there and watch, and you'd get to see people walk by all the time. They would say hey and what's up. We weren't allowed to like, go up to them. They had like a security guy or girl manning it, so we wouldn't attack them, but they said hi to us and stuff. So we did a lot of that year. 2015 was when the Cube members showed up, and they weren't official, like they didn't have an official time or anything like that. They actually had to meet up in a park, and I was in line because obviously both of us signed up for different things, meet and greets or whatever, because this is when they started the signing lottery. It was what they still do. So we both had different, meetups and stuff. So I was in line to meet, who was I in line to meet? Okay, hold up. As I'm editing this, I remember who I met. I met Smosh, and I think I met these two in line meeting Smosh. For some reason, when I'm recording this, I couldn't remember who I met. But I met 2 people in line, and they were talking about Minecraft. And I was going to go to the Minecraft meetup by myself, and I was freaking out because these people are talking about gaming and Minecraft. So I literally turned to them and I'm like, are you guys going to that meetup? And we basically became friends in this line, and we went to the Cube meetup in the park together. When we got there after our meetup, it was crazy. I, for some reason, didn't think that this meetup was going to be as crazy as it was, but it was. There was a huge line in the park to meet them. And we were just like, what? So we just kind of sat around on the outside of the line, just chilling, and we didn't think we'd even get to meet them. The line was so long, and we didn't want to really be there that long. But the flip side, I kind of didn't care because one of the biggest reasons why I went was to see them. So I kind of just kicked it, I guess. And I met Peckett while standing around there because he wasn't, I guess, in the line, like in the official line to meet people. So I got to meet Peckett, and the 2 people that I met, they ended up leaving because they were like, we're done, we don't want to wait. I'm like, all right. So I just stayed by myself, and I ended up getting to get in line and meet everyone. I kind of jumped in and met Tibbsy. I met this boy there who started talking to me, and he was like, coercing me into just going up into Tibbsy, because I was sitting like right behind him the whole time. He was like, just go up to him and take a picture, like they're not gonna say anything. So he basically got me to meet like Tibbsy and Devin without even being in line, because I was just like right next to them. So I did that, and then I just sat there and I waited, and the line eventually got shorter, and I just decided to jump in. I went over there, and the lady, like, there was security and everything. There was like crazy. Oh, can I get into the line? Like, this is like the last person. And she was like, yeah, you'll be the last person. So I got in line and I got to meet all the Cube members. And then I called my friend to come pick me up because she rented a car that year. And I don't remember what she was doing. I think I had given her my pass to go see some other YouTubers she liked at, you know, actual VidCon. So after that, she came and she picked me up and we went back, and I just, like I said, I think the lobby was the biggest part. The hotel lobby was the biggest part of that year. I met, I was gonna say I met him, but that was, I'm getting all my VidCons mixed up. But Saturday night, there's always a party that everyone I pretty much knows about. We tried to get into it, but we failed. We like tried to like go in, like there was so many people trying to sneak in at the same time. It was like kind of impossible, because since we were older than everyone else trying to sneak in, every time we had like a glimmer of hope, this whole posse started following us around, so it made it like impossible for us to get in. We ended up kind of getting in at the end, the very, 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 very end, when they were basically like ending, but we got in and we walked out with Ricky Dillon, which was hilarious because there was a bunch of people on the other side, I guess, where everyone was exiting, just waiting, and we just walk out with them. It was so funny. We walk out, I meet Ricky Dillon, which was amazing because like I hadn't met him or seen him, I don't think, the entire VidCon. So I got to meet him. He was a little tipsy. He tried pushing me out of my own photo. I have that photo as well. For that, we went to like the VidCon prom, which is like the last party they always have at VidCon. You know, it's like a prom, it's like a dance, but it's so cheesy. It's basically like an 8th grade dance. That's how I can explain it. They play all this music that they think is cool, but it's just not, and it's just a lot of little kids like jumping around. It's actually really weird. We also had Subway that year. We walked out of VidCon prom and we went to Subway. Okay, so yeah, we left. I met Ricky. We left. And as we're leaving and we're walking back to the hotel, I like bump into the Cube members again, a couple of them. And I've told this story. I ended up telling this story, I think, on Instagram. I eventually told it because I kept it a secret because it was only me and her. We were the ones that, I don't know. Anyways, we come out and I see like I for sure saw Grazer, and I can't remember who else. There was a couple of them. It might have been Tofu, like Poke, Tofu, and Will. It must have been some of them. I definitely remember Grazer and obviously Will because the story is about Will. And I'm like, I stop and I'm trying to like get my friend's attention to tell her, but before I can even do that, Will kind of comes up to us and he's like, hey, do you guys have a ring pop? And we're like, a what? He's like, a ring pop. Do you guys have a ring pop? And we're like, no. He's like, do you know where I can get a ring pop? And we're like, I don't know, CVS or something. He's like, thanks guys, great. And like, we just walk off. He was for sure 100% drunk. Okay. And it was the weirdest thing ever. And my heart was beating so much because Will's my favorite. My heart was beating so much, and we like walk far enough away. I'm like, dude, those were the guys, the Minecraft guys. And she's like, what? I'm like, yeah, dude, that was Will. Like, she's like, dude, why didn't you say anything? And I'm like, I was going to, and then that happened. It was just so weird and so random. I was not expecting that. Yeah, we walked back into the hotel, and that happened. I think pretty much that ended our night. No, for sure in the hotel we saw Kian, JC, like walk by in that little hallway I was talking about. Yeah, I think those are the only things I can really remember that stuck out to me from that VidCon. Last year's VidCon, 2016, I went by myself. So that was a different and interesting experience being by myself. in a hotel and stuff. I meet up with friends during. I was essentially by myself just because I was the only one that stayed, I guess, in the hotel by myself. But I did have friends that I ended up meeting up with. So it wasn't horrible, and I wasn't by myself the entire time. Got to do my own thing. It was actually a little bit liberating just kind of being by myself and just going off and kind of just doing what I wanted and going to whatever I wanted. And I watched Connor Franta talk a little bit, and I helped sneak my friend in, because this is when they upped security a lot last year because of, you know, what happened. Christina Grimmie. They upped all the security. So there was like, everything was barred off. You know, there was like security people at every entrance. The hotel, you had to show your key cards. You couldn't get to the like elevators and stuff without having a key card. You had to like walk a certain way. It's just, everything was just on a different level of security last year. But I did help my friends sneak in. Some of the security guards, honestly, they don't care. They just kind of, whatever. If they see you walking like in a group, they won't even check. So that's a little like, But, so I wasn't alone, so that was kind of good. I did my meet and greets. I met Fun for Louie, and I met Gigi Gorgeous. So I met them, and then I went to try to go and see the Cube, because they also showed up again. But this time they actually had a planned time to see. So now VidCon uses not only like the Hilton, but they use the hotel across from the Hilton. There's like 2 hotels right there. They use the other hotel now too, and they used it for like panels and stuff. So the Cube had a panel over there, and I went to go see a bit of it. But I also went with my friend to go see this thing that Ricky Dillon was doing for the Trolls movie. So we did that. Saw Sam Podorf talk. I met Crawford Collins last year at VidCon. I was actually looking for him because I knew he'd be there. One of my friends, when I was walking around with my other friend at VidCon last year, because I don't know, I was just walking around with her because I couldn't find anyone else to hang out with, I think, at that time. So I was walking around with her, and I passed by one of my other friends, and she's like, Crawford just passed by, like literally right now, like right by you. You didn't see him. And I was freaking out. I was like, what? I went to go back to find him, and I couldn't. And then I don't know if it was later that same day or the next day. Those same girls that told me they saw him, they were like, oh, they went to the restroom or something, and I waited for them outside. So I'm sitting under this tree closer to like the Hilton side where there's like trees and like benches and stuff. So I was sitting right there just waiting for them, whatever. And I just look up and I see Crawford like walking by, and I'm like, oh. So I like ran up to him. It was only like 3 of us that stopped him, so it wasn't that bad. So I met Crawford. I met Jenna Marbles on Saturday. So on Saturday, my friend that came with me last year came to Saturday's VidCon with me, with our other friend. We just kind of hung out and chilled and tried to like see people, try to get into the party again. Didn't work. And we met Jenna Marbles though, near the bathrooms of the party. There's a lot of people in that little hallway, and since, you know, there was the restrooms, there was, you know, YouTubers coming in to go to the bathroom. So, well, I actually didn't meet Jenna. I saw her, and my friend met her, and a bunch of other people were going up to her for pictures. But she was trying to go to the bathroom, so I felt really bad. Like, I didn't want to like stop her, even though tons of people were. And I'm pretty sure Julian was like telling people, okay guys, you know, go, let her go. And Jenna was like, no, it's fine. And she literally took pictures with everyone who was going up to her, and she was so sweet. Like, she literally didn't say no to anyone's photo. And Julian was like trying to get everyone to go away, and she was like, no, and she was just taking pictures with everyone who was asking her for one. She was so sweet. We saw Bretman Rock. I think my friend got a photo with him. I feel like he was a little standoffish. Definitely saw him though. And we just kind of sat and waited like around there for a bit, and we just kind of left. I know I saw Marcus Butler, I think it was like Friday night, but I didn't go up to him. I'm stupid, I should have. I think that sums up all my VidCon years. This video was so all over the place. I don't really know what the point of this video was supposed to be. I guess it was more of like a nostalgic sort of memories for me, since I'm not going to VidCon this year, but maybe also someone stumbles across this video, you'll get hype for your VidCon experience if you're going. It's definitely gonna be fun, for sure. It's definitely be very tiring. You're gonna feel so sore because you're gonna walk so much. I hope this makes you excited for VidCon if you're going. I, again, wish I was going. So many people I love are going, and I wish I could be there, but it's just not gonna work out this year, sadly. But I hope you guys, if you're going to VidCon, have a great time, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye. Okay. I think it's far enough away. So we had, but I always